as they ran out 38-point winners. Since then, things have gone a lot better for Japan. The only team they have lost to is the Philippines. They fell to them by 11 points last night in the semi-final. Juanito, can Japan turn around that opening night defeat?
You know, it all depends on the character that Japan has gained and generated from this tournament. I think this is a team that can rebound from a painful loss, and that was certainly a painful loss that Japan suffered to the Philippines. I think this team has character. It's a team that's in transition. They've got some veteran players, some young players, but it's a team that can certainly bounce back from the pain of a defeat.
Last night it was a comprehensive display from China. They held Iran to just 57 points, a team that had been averaging 93 going into that semi-final game. They restricted them to 2 of 16 from long range. And it was a crushing display. Are there some lessons Japan can take from that game into this bronze medal game?
I don't know whether Japan can play like China, because Japan doesn't really have the bigs. Neither do they have the defensive presence to make life tough for Iran. Iran is going to use its size, and certainly they will want to bounce back from that loss to China.
In the first time these teams met, we see Japan being introduced. There was only one man in double figures. That was Joji Takeuchi. Here he comes now to be introduced. He's been a double-double machine for them so far in this tournament. He's had help later in the tournament from Makoto Hiyojima, who was outstanding last night against the Philippines. Have they got enough weapons to score a winning score against Iran?
Well, it certainly can't just be Takeuchi and Hiyojima. They've got to have support from the bench, from the other starters. Furukawa, he's got to be on target in this game. Yuta Tabusa, he has to run the show very intelligently against a tough Iran team. They have to know exactly what to do. Their game plan must be spot on.
We've talked about Iran all tournament having an outstanding depth, having a brilliant team, all-around contribution. But in the semi-final last night, only one man who truly stood up. That was Samad Nikhal Bahrami, who had 18 points and 7 boards. He got some late help from Hamed Ehadadi, who had 16 and 11. Who are the other players that need to step up? What has to happen for Iran to get back on the winners list and claim the bronze medal?
Mahdi Kamrani, he has to step up big time in this one. Against China, only 6 points and 1 assist. He was 0 of 4 from 3-point distance. Davarpana, I think he also has to play a big role here with his defensive pressure against the Japanese guards.
So, please remain standing for the national anthem of Iran. Thank you.
It's a bronze medal showdown in Changsha, the final day of the 2015 FIBA Asia Championship. And as we've said, these two teams, Iran and Japan, met on opening day. It was lopsided on that occasion, but this Japanese team has just grown and grown as the tournament has worn on. That man won't get any bigger. Hamed Haddadi, he has been a standout once again. He willed his team towards the line in the fourth quarter against China last night, but he could not deliver against what was a boisterous and deafening home crowd. There's our three referees for the evening, a big job for them. And what about the Japanese team? It's a big job for them, Juanito. What have they got to do? Who are the key players and what are the key strategies?
Well, the keys to victory for Japan, very clearly, they need to be able to establish that zone defense that worked so well against the Philippines 3/4 of the way. And before we get into other keys to victory, let's check out the roster here for Japan. We talked about Takeuchi, also Furukawa. He's got to be on target from the outside. Hiejima, what a monster game against the Philippines, 28 points, 22 coming the first half. Yuta Tabusa, he's the court general of this team. He runs the show, and he also has to be spot on in terms of locating who the shooters are and where they are. And Yuta Tabusa, he's got the nod here for the starting five, and Hiejima, Takeuchi, Arao, and Hirose. Good balance here with size and speed for Japan. But when you talk about Japan's size, I mean, I don't think they'll be able to ever outsize the huge ceiling that Iran provides in the front line.
Iran have 5 players who have played 5 FIBA Asia Championships together. One of them missed last night, number 10, Hamed Afar. He looks like he's going to miss again tonight. Take us through this roster, Juanito.
Well, we talked about Haddadi. He's the main man of this team. Barami, I think he's a weak link in defense, and China exposed his weakness in defense as the wings got going in attacking Barami's defense. Kamran, we saw him also in the roster. Those are the 3 big guns of Iran. And talking about those 3 big guns, they are starting here for Iran along with Oshin Sahakian, who was the #1 power forward who was named to the mythical 5 of the 2013 FIBA Asia Championships. And Yachali also getting the nod here. He's taking over from Afag, who's not able to play in this game.
We're about 90 seconds away from tip-off. China, I'll try again. Iran have won 3 of the past 4 FIBA Asia Championships. Their run has come to an end here. And we said 5 players on the roster who have played 5 FIBA Asia Championships. Is this the end of a golden generation? Japan would love to start a bronze generation after their past 4 tournaments haven't delivered the results they would want. Juanito, what are the keys to victory for Japan?
Well, for Japan, earlier we talked about how important it was for them to establish the zone defense. You take away the post position of that man on the left of your screens, that's Hamed Haddadi. I think they also need ball movement to be able to locate the open shooters. They can't score consistently inside because of the bigs of Iran controlling the painted area and protecting the rim, so they've got to be on target from the outside.
And that will be where Joji Takeuchi, who you saw on your screen, he's a big man who can step out, shoot the jump shot, he can drive to the basket and pass as well. He's got a huge job in the centers. What else have we got for Japan?
For Japan, I think they need to be able to play transition D consistently. I think you can expect Iran to run the ball and then get the rebounds on the defensive end, pitch the outlet, and they're flying over in transition for easy baskets. They've got Mashayeki, Davarpani, and Kamrani, 3 very quick guards who will be able to lead the attack in transition. So if you're Japan, you want to make sure that you sprint back quickly on defense to stop the easy baskets for Iran.
We're just moments away from tip-off. Iran now shaking hands with the referees. What are the keys for them?
Well, for Iran, you pound it inside. That's exactly what Iran did when they first met Japan. They won by 38 points, as you mentioned. They had a 19-9 advantage in offensive rebounds. Their size is going to be a huge factor here for Iran. I think number 2, they need to extend their perimeter defense, take away that 3-point shot of Japan, and finally, pressure from the backcourt. Make Tabuse and Hashimoto bleed for their points and their passes.
Ready for action in Changsha. I'm Paulo Kennedy. I'm joined by Juanito Henson. It's the bronze medal game. And Iran have the first opportunity. There we see the matchup, Kamrani and Tabusi. two of the veterans of international basketball. Looking inside straight away, and you saw the Japanese defense ready to swarm inside. Here's Takeuchi running the point guard.
And we know that he's a player who can play multiple positions. Throw in the point guard position, wow.
And we see Haddadi guarding Arao, not guarding Takeuchi on this first possession. So interesting strategy there from the Iranian coaching staff. Shot clock down to 3. It's a tough shot for Tabusi. He's a 34-year-old playing his first major international tournament. It's been quite a story. He's been one of the keys to the rise of Japan in this tournament. As Yakchali gets a nice feed from Haddadi, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Coach Dirk Barman applauding the effort of the Iranian team. And after losing to China, Coach Barman told the press the two things that did them in that game against China: China's length, China's youth. Now you ask the question, what about Japan? Does it have the length of China? The answer is no. Does it have the youth of China? The answer is, well, maybe 50-50. Some of these guys are young, some of these guys are experienced, and there's Furukawa. He's got to be on fire in this game. He's going to be coming off the bench.
They play a youthful brand of basketball, and the key for them to beating Qatar in the quarterfinal was playing quick basketball, not just up and down the floor, but moving the ball in the half court, keeping bodies moving, keeping the ball moving. You can see here a lot of ball movement early on from Japan, a lot of player movement, and it opens up inside for Takeuchi. He gets his first points. It's Japan's first points. It's 2-all after just over a minute.
He brings tremendous mobility in that position that he plays. You ask, what position does he play? He's a 4, he's a 5. He's someone who can certainly mix and match in terms of the offensive options of Japan.
3-point shot from Nikao Baharami was off, but a foul against Japan. I think it might have been called on Hiyajima.
You know, Paul, we're thinking about who the possible players will be named in the mythical 5 of this tournament, and I'm trying to fix...
Also known as the All-Star 5 in some countries.
So I'm trying to wonder whether Takeuchi fits in at number 4, maybe even a number 3. We know that number 5, that's probably a lock for Yi Jin Young.
Inside to another one of the powerful 5s. He kicks it out. It ends up with Nikao Baharami, and it ends up in the bottom of the net. And we saw Makoto Hiyajima going to the bench. It was his second personal foul. And not only is he one of Japan's key offensive men, he's a guy who can wear an opponent defensively, and I'm sure Nikao Baharami will be pleased to see the back of him. We see Takeuchi, an ill-advised pass that time. It spills out of bounds, and Japan will have 3 seconds to shoot here.
And the matchup you were talking about, Paul, Takeuchi against Sahakian. So Takeuchi looking to post up Sahakian because of his size advantage.
3 seconds to shoot. Here's Hirose, puts it on the floor, and he's swatted away by Haddadi. And you talk about predictable outcomes. When he drove at the big fella, there was a pretty good chance he was going to get blocked there.
One positive note here for Iran is that Bahrami hitting his first 3-point attempt. He went 0 out of 5 from 3-point distance against China. China limiting Iran to just 2 3-point connections in that victory in the semifinals.
Here is Nikao Baharami. Nice feed outside to Yakchali. He can't get the 3 to go. It'd be Japan ball. And the crowd here just slowly trickling in as we count down towards the 8:30 start, a local time for the gold medal game between China and the Philippines. So the players having to generate their own atmosphere early. No doubt there will be a lot more people in the gym by the second half. Here's Tabuse. Nice feed to Furukawa, who pulls up and almost banked it in. It just rimmed out. And here come Iran. And Kamrani, he's a 33-year-old point guard, but you talk about someone who plays a youthful game. That's one man right there. Here's Nikao Baharami for his second 3-pointer. Just the start that Iran would have wanted. They lead it 8-2. We haven't even gone 3 minutes yet.
Half-court set here for Japan. They're having difficulty getting their offense to unravel against this tough defense by Iran.
Physical defense from Iran. It leaves Hirose wide open. Furukawa gets the rebound, and he draws the foul on Yakchali. An important hustle play there from Furukawa with his team struggling to generate open looks.
Number 5, Team Iran. First person. Substitution, Team Japan.
Here's Tanaka into the ball game. Another one of the spark plugs off the bench. There's Hirose. He had a big impact earlier in the tournament. He's cooled off a little as the games have worn on, as Furukawa rims out again. His first field goal and his first free throw. Both had a good look down, but they decided to jump out.
Against the Philippines, Japan was on target from the free throw line. They went 24 out of 29, missing only 5, shooting 83% from the line.
And what was so impressive was their willingness to attack the bigger defense of the Philippines, go at the likes of Andre Blatch and draw a lot of fouls, and it was their half-court execution. But so far, Iran's physical defense has really restricted their off-the-ball movement. As another three-point attempt. This one's long from Nikau Baharami. But an offensive rebound. Yak Charlie making an important contribution there. Iran suffocating Japan at both ends at the moment. Another open look for the sharpshooter. And what a beginning for Samad Nikau Baharami. He is up to 9 points, and it's 11-3 after less than 4 minutes.
Already 3 3-point conversions here for Iran. They've already gone 1 over the 3-point conversions they had against China.
Japan struggling to penetrate this defense at all. Here's Takeuchi, tough shot as the shot clock expires.
That's under time pressure. Great job trapping the man with the ball, forcing the release pass under time pressure. That's Coach Hasegawa.
Japan with just 3 points in over 4 minutes. They're in a 3-2 zone here. Baharami again, this time he's a distributor. Sahakian into the lane. Nikau Baharami along the baseline. He is doing everything at the moment. How about that start from the veteran? He was inspirational last night for Iran in their loss. Look at this drive and the finger roll up over the top of Takeuchi. He had 18 points last night. He's got 11 already in less than 5 minutes tonight. And we've got a timeout called by Japan. They're trailing 13-3. Well, it's just the start that Iran would have wanted. We see the team leaders there for Japan, but there is nothing worth reporting. They've scored just 3 points, and we've got 5:31 to go in the first quarter. And we look at some of the shooting numbers. Japan 1 of 6 from the field, in stark contrast to Iran, who are 4 of 7. They've already pulled in 2 offensive rebounds. Iran, as if they weren't shooting the ball well enough, they're securing extra opportunities. And Cornito, what changes do Japan need to make at that timeout?
As far as defense is concerned, they need to put a man on Baharami and play him tough. Make him a passer, not a scorer. He's got 11 out of Iran's 13 points. And right now, Baharami feels that there's nobody out there who can stop him from scoring.
It's the ball movement of Iran which has been able to open up those shots, as quick hands from Kamrani. Sahakian recovers it.
That defense of Iran has been unforgiving so far.
Well, Japan looked so confident against the Philippines yesterday. They played with their chests out. They look shell-shocked at the moment. Baharami again inside. He draws a foul. And as you said, they've just got to put someone on him, whether it's running a box and one, whether it's going man on man. But at the moment, he is a one-man wrecking crew.
And he was able to penetrate that 3-2 zone defense put up by Japan so easily. And if someone is scoring as much as Baharami here so far, yes, you really need a man to shadow him wherever he is. He's feeling it, he's stroking it. And Nikau Baharami, what a bounce back for him in that game against China. 0 out of 5 from 3-point distance. Now he's got 3 three-point conversion so far.
15-3 is the lead. 13 points from Nickel Baharami. There's an old saying, you don't wake a sleeping giant. Well, Iran have been the giants of Asian basketball for the last 8 years. And they got a nasty wake-up call from China last night, and they are taking it out on Japan at the moment.
It's called venting your ire. And right now, this defense has been tremendous for Iran, causing another turnover, putting pressure on the ball carrier, and then switching. What tough defense being displayed here by Iran and Coach Dirk Barman. That's his philosophy. You play defense as a priority.
A good move here from Coach Hasegawa. He brings in Matsui, who is their spark plug off the bench. He hit 4 three-pointers in a quarter in a lead-up game. He's been shooting about 42% from long range in this tournament. We see Yak Charlie missed that one. Haddadi with another offensive board. Here's Nickel Baharami, don't tell me. He finally misses. But another O board. It's like shooting practice here for Iran, and this man, he doesn't need any more practice. He is on fire. 16 points in the first 6 minutes from Nickel Baharami.
Out of the 18 that Iran has scored so far. But as I mentioned, if you're Iran, your priority here is to play defense. Let Baharami get his points on the other end. Important thing is Japan doesn't get good looks. Right now, just 3 points for Japan scored.
Look at the scrambling defense of Iran. It was a broken play. It looked like it had spilt to Debussy for an easy basket, but Yak Charlie scooted through and recovered the basketball. And there's one team playing at high intensity at the moment, and it's the team in white singlets, Iran. They look for Baharami again. This time he's off the mark. Now Japan, the man I'd like to see him go to, well, this man's going to fire up a three-pointer, Matsui. And that's just the tonic that Japan needed. And they cut this margin back to 12.
Well, Japan did not score a single three-point shot in that loss to the Philippines. They took 11 attempts from beyond the arc. So that's a good sign here for Japan. Back on track as far as three-point shooting is concerned.
Sahakian down the middle, he was bumped. He didn't get the call and he couldn't make the basket. And there's wholesale substitutions coming here for Iran. 5 men on, 5 men off. You've had your turn. Come and have a seat with me, says Coach Dirk Baumann.
You call that the platoon substitution. And for Japan, Hashimoto's come in to replace Yuta Tabuse.
And that's a good substitution as well. Matsui to give him the offensive energy, Hashimoto the defensive energy. But right now I think they need to go to their main man, Joji Takeuchi, in the short corner, where he can nail the jump shot, he can make passes out of double teams, and he can slice to the basket. And he's just not seeing enough of the basketball at the moment. Operating here away from the ball. He sets the screen for Matsui. Shot clock at 3. Along the baseline, Tanaka draws a foul. But once again, an entire possession where Japan's #1 offensive threat doesn't touch the ball.
And the 3 small men of Iran wreaking havoc here on Japan's offense. You've got Davarpana, Davari, and Yakchali. 3 very quick guards who can really put pressure on the man with the ball.
There's Tanaka for 3, it's short. Not the shot that Japan needed. Here's Davarpana, he's been a bundle of energy and strength for Iran in this tournament off the bench. Mashieki along the baseline. 3-pointer from Jamshidi is long, and with the exception of Nickel Baharami, Iran haven't had too many players on fire, as we see a professional foul there from Davarpana.
You know, as far as Iran is concerned, they're not getting good balanced offense at all. But if you're Coach Dirk Barman, you're happy with what's going on. You've held Japan to just 6 points so far. And Japan bleeding, struggling for points here. Look at the way Hassanzadeh has extended his defense way outside, shadowing Takeuchi. And look at the switch.
Clever play from Hashimoto. He had the big man out in an island. He created the contact and put the pressure on the referee to call the foul. That's the 4th team foul on Iran. We've got 1:57 to play until quarter time.
Iran really has to do a better job of stopping that pick and roll situation here of Japan. because out of the switch, Takeuchi is getting away. And there is Takeuchi attacking from the outside. That's where you want him to attack, from the outside, using his lateral quickness and mobility.
Yeah, that's a good play. The first time he's had that opportunity. Coach Dirk Baumann complaining about that foul. It was clear as could be. Caduced out of position, lifted his leg into Takeuchi, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2, and a much needed 2 for Japan.
And Japan doesn't miss too many free throws. Georgi Takeuchi.
16 points, 12 boards per game in this tournament.
And his brother Kosuke should have been in this national lineup, except that he was injured. So many, actually, players from Japan could have played on this in this tournament, except for injuries and personal commitments. Watanabe is in George Washington University. Georgi Togashi is a Japanese import playing in the Italian league.
That's what's been so impressive about this team. It's been a team, not a collection of individuals. Tonight, though, they're having their mettle tested by a determined Iran as Mashieki pulls up for a tough shot. And there's a foul called on the rebound on Hassan Zada. And more free throws to come to Japan. They could close this margin to 8 after it looked like Iran had blown them out of the water.
Well, the adjective we use in describing Japan, scrappy. And it's exactly that kind of game that Japan is playing right now. They're playing a scrappy game. They're hanging around. They're getting some defensive stops now. They put Iran into early foul trouble.
Ota makes the first. He's been shooting just 54% from the line in the tournament. You know what else happened? Coach Dirk Baumann took Nikau Baharami out of the ball game, along with the other 4 starters. And Japan have capitalized on that. They're back within 8. We've got just short of 90 seconds until quarter time, so some big possessions coming up here. Japan would feel this a big win if they can be within 6 or 8 points at quarter time.
Still going with the zone defense is Japan.
Tough shot for Davapano, it's off the mark. Takeuchi inside, Ota inside, and Hashimoto comes up with it.
That conviction of Japan to gang rebound, getting them that defensive board.
Mashieki gets away with bumping Hashimoto with his team in the basket, in the bonus. Here's Matsui. He got things going for Japan with a 3-point bomb. That one's off the mark. And now Jamshidi away in the open court. Now foul call, clever foul there from Matsui. With just 46 seconds left in the quarter, just the 4th team foul on Japan, so no free throws here.
And here's that foul given up by Japan. But previously, again, there was a switch on the defensive end for Iran, and Japan unable to capitalize off the switch. They need to get that ball in the hands of Takeuchi right away to take advantage of the mismatch.
Shot clock at 12. Mashieki with the ball. Jamshidi, he's struggled from long range in this tournament. Mashieki all the way in, and he's met by Takeuchi. He blocked the ball clean. He's been called for a body foul, and he certainly brought some pain on Mashieki there. We see a clean block, and it looked like he elevated straight up and down, but the referee didn't see it that way.
And Mashieki is going to the line. His shot was blocked, but there was body contact. What an adjustment on the part of Coach Dirk Baumann, this platoon substitution. I think he probably felt that Barami was just getting too many shots. You want to be able to get a balanced offense from your team and not just rely on any one particular scorer.
It's an interesting call, though. Japan are within 10. They can bring it closer here. There's about 5 seconds between game and shot clock. Hashimoto looking to work. Mashieki's been all over him so far. Spin move from Hashimoto. That is a tough shot. And now 5 seconds left for Iran. Here's Hassan Zada, but Hashimoto motors down the court and makes up for his earlier mistake.
What hustle coming from Hashimoto. He took the shot on one end, and he was the first one down on defense to disrupt the play. It would have been an easy 2 points there for Hassan Zada.
1.8 seconds to run in the first quarter. Inside to Caduced, and he finishes. What a finish. to the quarter for Iran. They burst out to as much as 15-point lead. Japan got it back within 8, but that basket re-establishes a 12-point edge at quarter time. And what about the strength of Kudus? Just too big for Takeuchi inside. And we've played 10 minutes. It's Iran making the running so far. They lead at 22-10.
In a situation like this, Japan has to take advantage of every kind of opportunity that the switching defense of Iran gives them. As you take a look at the three-point shooting, 4 already for Iran, all coming from Bahrami, and just 1 for Japan. And rebounding, +3 for Iran, but 4 offensive rebounds for Iran in this game, as against 1 for Japan. And turnovers, 4 for Japan, 2 steals for Iran.
Here are the highlights, and I'm going to suggest a few of them will involve Samad Nikal Bahrami. As you see Takeuchi inside. That was nice early basket. Things look good from there. Dirk Bellman says pass it to Nikal Bahrami and he'll do the rest. That's right. There's another 3. That's not a replay of the replay. He was on fire in this first quarter. He was 5 of 9 from the field, 4 of 8 from long range, and Matsui joined in the three-point party as well. That was a much-needed basket. He got sick of the three-point line. He went to the finger roll. Later on, he'd draw some fouls and shoot some free throws.
Bad news for Japan, of course. Hiyajima, with 2 early fouls, had to sit down.
Almost ready to go here in the second quarter. It's the bronze medal game between Iran and Japan. And it's the defending champions in white, leading 22-10 after 10 minutes.
Well, you have to be impressed with Bahrami's explosion. I think what's carried Iran to this 12-point lead so far, it's defense. They've held Japan to just 20% shooting from the floor.
Here's Ota. He had Takeuchi inside, he missed him, and then turns the ball over. A bad result for Japan early in this quarter is inside to Hassan Zada, and he climbs upstairs and tucks it in with 2 hands.
What a no-looker coming from Kamrani.
Matsui down low. Japan looking short of ideas. Hashimoto steps back for the three-pointer. There's Matsui, but he bobbles the rebound. And that pretty much sums up the night so far for Japan. It's a 14-point deficit they face after just 11 minutes. Kudus with the ball screen. Davapana for a long 2, and it's well off the mark. Here's Tanaka. And now they get the ball inside to Takeuchi. Spins along the baseline. He finds Tanaka. But once again, he struggles to hit. Japan now 2 of 12 from the field. They're 1 of 6 from three-point range.
Japan looking to run early offense that time, but just can't buy the basket.
I would have liked to have seen Takeuchi square up, take his time. Now we see a double team on the low post. Takeuchi with the rebound. And I think he needs to become a distributor. Take his time, draw some defense. This man won't take any time, and he'll drain another three-point bomb. 2 for the night for Matsui, and the margin back to 11.
And that's key for Japan. Get the outside shooters involved very early, and then they're running their offense with just a few seconds off the shot clock. That's important before Iran's defense is able to set up.
Kamrani with a three-point bomb. Big shot just to answer the triple from Matsui.
That's 5 three-point connections now for Iran. Where was that shot against China?
They didn't get the open looks against China. Kamrani shooting just 28% from long range in this tournament, but he looked confident on that one. Iran with all the answers. Here's Ota inside, looking to pass. He doesn't feel he can score in that matchup with Kudus, and that's why a rushed spinning shot from Ota. We get a foul called on Hashimoto in the open court. He's going to check out of the ball game. Tabusi coming back in, and Hiyajima back in, and that is a crucial substitution. He has 2 fouls so far. He had 22 points in the first half against the Philippines last night. They need him to start ticking the scoreboard over.
When the lead is up to 14 and Coach Hasegawa realizing that without Hijima on the floor, this lead could even balloon bigger. So they need a firefighter, a fireman right now on the floor.
Mikhail Baharami back on the floor. He defers to Komrani. Good work inside from Hassanzada, but I think he's traveled there. 3 Japanese players around him. And a much needed break for Japan. Just over 7 minutes to run until halftime. Tabusi, he's got better and better as the tournament's worn on. He's averaging 6 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. But so far tonight, he has been swarmed by Komrani and co, whose defense has been first rate. Hijima gets the mismatch he wanted. We've got an offensive foul, caught on a Rao, trying to free up Tabusi with a screen away from the ball.
Komrani down on the floor, out of that illegal pick. Haddadi still cooling his heels on the bench. Coach Dirk Barman riding on the coattails of these 2 big men in combination. Hassanzadeh and Karduz occupy a lot of space in the shaded area.
You can't help but feel that when Japan got it back to 8 late in that first quarter, they had to make a couple of plays there just to get the pressure back onto Iran as Yakchali fires and misses. Here's Tabusi. Can he get away in the open court? Jack Charlie, he slows him down with some hand checking and forces Japan into some half-court basketball. A foul that time, that'll be on Hassanzada, and that'll be his 3rd personal foul. So Cornito, I think we'll see Haddadi check back into the ball game. We see just a linking of the arms there in the low post battle.
Haddadi's checking in now. And he checks in for Karduz, not Hassanzadeh. Hassanzadeh's got 3 fouls.
Karduz with 2 himself. With Coach Bauman backing his big man to ride those fouls until half-time. Here's Tabusi. He's at his best in the open court. Japan need him to create something in the half court here. Shot clock at 5. Here's Takeuchi. He draws a foul.
That's number 4.
Well, Dirk Bauman's faith was misplaced there, and we'll get Sahakian back into the ball game. So a small win for Japan. They haven't had too many of them so far.
Well, Hassanzadeh, he's a good post defender. I don't know whether he's as capable playing against a mobile big man like Takeuchi.
Slippery big man. Matsui working to get free. Mikhail Baharami sticks with him. Now that's a nice play for Takeuchi, and he rewards. And there's the 2 offensive stars for Japan. Hijima and Takeuchi combining, and I think we need to see more of that play.
Oh, I think so, because they got good spacing that time in a 2-man game. And Takeuchi, he's a perfect popper off the pick and pop because he's got a nice shot from medium range.
Offensive rebound, Yak Charlie. Haddadi fires. Tabusi tracks it down. It's tapped out of bounds. Which way will this go? The referee makes the call while being bumped into the bench, and excellent work from the official there. We see 2 players going hard after that ball.
And Sahakian ramming the referee down.
Good pressure defense on the ball from Yak Charlie, and he gets the steal. Now Sahakian, he'll slow it up. He'll wait for the cavalry to arrive. Haddadi just goes straight down low. Good read from Matsui. He pitches it ahead to Tabusi. Nice cross-court pass to Matsui, and he splashes his 3rd triple of the evening. And Japan bring it back within 9. Iran want to talk about it. Dirk Bauman calls timeout with an unhappy look on his face. And how about the recognition from Tabusi? He found his money shooter wide open, and Matsui rewarded him.
Late closeout that time. And Matsui has been on fire in this game. Go back to the keys to victory that we talked about at the top of our coverage. Ball movement to locate the open shooters, because obviously Japan will have a difficult time getting those inside points. Now they're getting the points from the perimeter.
Subdued celebration there from Matsui. His team still trails by 9, and we've got a timeout.
Check out the team leaders now on your screens. Nika Barami, 16 out of the 27 points. And he was just on target in the first quarter of this game. And you see the Iranian team coming out of the timeout, and Coach Dirk Barman not happy, not pleased with what went on in the last few possessions of Japan. And Japan getting away with some nice looks from the outside.
Well, Iran led by as many as 15 in the first quarter. It was 18-3. Nikau Baharami had 16 of those. But full credit to this Japanese team. They have been one of the toughest outfits in the tournament. They've continually played plucky basketball, and they're hanging around here as well. They're within 9. They can make it 6 or 7.
Again, that 3-2 zone defense of Japan creating a turnover. And, you know, I can't ever forget 2003 NBA Finals between the San Antonio Spurs and the New Jersey Nets, when the Spurs used that 3-2 zone defense to take away, to diffuse the outside shooting of the New Jersey Nets.
Well, Japan starting to diffuse the hot hand of Iran. This man had a hot hand last night. He can't get that one to go, but look at a row inside. Excellent hustle on the offensive glass. That's offensive rebound, just the second one for Japan so far. But that's the third team foul on Iran in this quarter.
And Coach Dirk Barman not taking any chances. He's got his starters back on the floor.
Here is a row. Look at the defense from Kamrani. Now Matsui. Excellent help defense again, this time from Ehadadi as Matsui fires from long range. How about the hot hand of Matsui? He is up to 12 points. He's hit 4 3-point bombs, and Japan are back within 6.
And once more, that 3-2 zone defense, keeping that ball away from the hands of Ehadadi.
So Hakian from long range. Japan will be happy with that shot. And look at Takeuchi streak down the floor. The feed from Matsui. He's doing it all. And who would have thought it? Japan are back within 4. Dirk Bauerman from Iran takes his second time out. What a burst here from Japan.
What I'm seeing here, Iran, when they take that foot off the pedal, you can't gamble against a team like Japan. Very scrappy, tremendous fighting spirit, and they've shown that throughout this tournament. As you see Coach Dirk Barman talking to his players, that lead has been whittled down to just 4 points. That was once up at 15. And Georgi Takeuchi.
And it was 27-13, so a 10-0 run from Japan. And there's the big man, Hamad Ehadadi. He hasn't been called on too much offensively. He's been outstanding on defense, guarding the keyway. We see some of the physical action here in Changsha. It's bronze medal on the line. That man, Nikau Baharami, he already wants to size himself up for a medal tonight. But Japan have other ideas at the moment.
Well, we've said repeatedly that Coach Dirk Barman's philosophy is really anchored on defense. And I thought they did an excellent job defensively in the first quarter. But here, with the platoon substitutions of Coach Bowerman, I think Iran lost momentum a little bit. And then Coach Hasegawa coming back with a 3-2 zone defense, now making life a little difficult here.
Here's the zone buster. Nikau Baharami is just off the mark that time. And Japan, again, they could be within a point after this possession. Hiyojima along the baseline, and he jumped in the air with nowhere to pass it. Excellent defense from Kamrani. He read the play, which was for a 3-point shot in the corner for Matsui. And Hiyojima was left with nowhere to go.
Exactly. Perfect defense the way Iran executed that time. They didn't give Matsui an open look. They played him good denial defense.
Here's Jamshidi. They look inside. They haven't been in there too often tonight. Nice pass from Ehadadi to his old running mate. And Nikau Baharami up to 18 points. What a solo display from him in the first half.
Well, badly needed points there for Iran, but they went to their big man. You want the big man with a touch. Whether he scores, whether he passes, you want the offense to go through Haddadi.
Same with Takeuchi. This time he feeds it to Hiyojima, and he misses, and you can't help but feel this is a critical time for Japan. They got it back to 8 in the first quarter and didn't capitalize. They got it back to 4 here. Takeuchi on the boards. Yeah, Charlie knocks it away from him. Outstanding play from the shooting guard for Iran. Here's Jamshidi. He hasn't been firing well from three-point range in the tournament. Yeah, Charlie inside. Did he get it away in time? He did, but it doesn't drop. And you just feel Japan need to make hay while the sun shines. They are on top at the moment. They need to get back within a basket or even take the lead with about 2.5 minutes to play until halftime. And another turnover, 2 in a row for Japan.
They're looking for Matsui, and he's well guarded here by the Iranian defense. So if you're Japan, look for other options. It's not just Matsui who will be able to get you the shot. Hiyojima is on the floor too.
Here's Nickel Bahrami. He feeds it outside. And it's noticeable that the other Iranians, apart from Nickel Bahrami and Komrani, are hesitant to shoot that three-point shot as we get a turnover from Iran.
I think what's happening with Iran's offense is that the players are deferring to Bahrami. But again, in that instance, as well as in the previous possession of Iran, the offense didn't go through Haddadi. You need to get him his touch. The problem is with that 3-2 zone defense, it doesn't give Haddadi any good post position.
Takeuchi being guarded by Nickel Bahrami on this possession. And Japan need to get him the ball close to the basket. They'll go immediately to that mismatch. Here is Hiyojima. Nice up fake, pull-up jumper, and it's good. Outstanding execution from Japan on that play.
And for Hiyojima, that's just his first 2 points. But that lead has been cut down to just 4. Highly competitive game that we're watching here.
Oh, steal from Tabuse. Here's Matsui, kicks it ahead. Tabuse all the way in and under. He misses the layup. Will this be a crucial break, or will Matsui hit a 3? He does. Oh my goodness gracious me. 5 3-pointers in the half for Matsui, and Japan are back within a point.
Tell you, the man who made that possible was the scrappiest player on the floor for Japan. Tabuse got the offensive rebound after his own miss, and then he found Matsui. It's a matter of locating your open shooters.
Komrani into the hole. He kicks it out to Nickel Bahrami, and a 3-second violation on Haddadi. The scrambling Japanese defense starting to turn the screws on Iran.
And Iran, again, not getting Haddadi to get a touch of the basketball in their offensive set.
Dirk Bowerman, a frustrated man at the moment. He urges his team on. And while earlier it looked like Japan had no answers, it's Iran who are being asked the questions right now. Here's Hiyojima. He hasn't scored a lot of points. He's had an impact. His ability to shift the defense is important. Here's Matsui. Look at the handling skills from Matsui. Finds Hiyojima. Shot clock down to 3. Tough shot. And Haddadi will clean it up. First chance in the open court for a while for Iran. And Tabuse puts an end to that very quickly with a professional foul. It's just the 3rd team foul on Japan with 32 seconds to play until halftime.
Smart move there by Tabuse to stop the Iranian rhythm in the offense. Who would have imagined after Iran sprinted to a 15-point lead at 18-3 that this lead would be cut down to just 1?
25-11 since that point of time. Jamshidi into the lane, Davapana. But there are Japanese singlets scrambling all over the place. Nice pass, and what a cut from Jamshidi. An important basket there for Iran, and we've got 15 seconds till halftime.
Again, that offense ran through Haddadi. You want him with the touch because he attracts the defense, and then he finds the open man.
Hiyojima inside, nice up fake, draws the foul. Clever play by Hiyojima.
With
and
just
that is the
3.3 seconds to go.
That's right, the first foul on Nickel Bahrami. But look at this, clever play, the jump stop, draws the contact, and 2 free throws to come.
A rare miss for Japan from the free throw line.
And we talk about a rare miss. Hiyojima shooting 95% from the free throw line in this tournament. He's been nearly impeccable. He makes the adjustment there.
Substitution.
So one last opportunity for Iran. It'll be a Hail Mary, you would imagine, unless we see the speed of Kamrani burning down the court. They lead it by 2. Here he is. He gets a pick from Haddad. Double team. Haddad will have to fire, and it's off the mark. So what a remarkable first half of basketball we've seen. Early on, it was 18-3 to Iran. Japan got back within 1, and at halftime, would you believe it's Iran leading at 31-29. The bronze medals are on the line, and it's anyone's ball game right now.
Scrappy play from Japan, coming back from 15 down with outstanding three-point shooting. Japan already with 5 three-point connections, as well as Iran. And the free throws, 6 out of 8 and 6 out of 6 for Iran.
You say Japan with 5 three-point connections. It's Matsui with 5 three-point connections. What a performance from him.
Iran +2 in the rebounding department. And if you're Japan, you have to be happy with this kind of situation. Momentum shifting over to their side and forcing Iran to 8 turnovers, although Japan has 9 miscues. Man on target, actually men on target.
Men on target, spot on.
Barami with 18 points and Matsui with 15 points. And those are the top scorers so far. No other players on either roster in double figures except Barami and Matsui.
There's been 10 three-pointers hit in this game, 9 of them from Nickel Baharami and Matsui. It's been a clinic from that pair. And we see the rebound leaders, Takeuchi with 4 boards to go with his output at the offensive end, 8 points as well as an assist and a steal. But let's have a look at some of the highlights. It's hard to summarize this game as we see the big block there from Takeuchi, and that one hurt Masayuki as he landed. Dirk Bauerman, he was happy early on. He hasn't been in such a good mood since, because this man Matsui has been firing from all angles and on all cylinders. That was a nice pass inside, and the jam.
Well, a big lesson learned here for Iran is that if you take that foot off the pedal against a scrappy team like Japan, watch out, anything can happen. And sure enough, opening the floodgates here, and Japan comes surging back.
That was a nice feed to Takeuchi, and he was always going to make that shot. And this fella hasn't looked like missing. It's been an incredible display, 5 of 6 from long range. And he talked that the offense through Haddad. What a pass to Jamshidi. The vision from the big man. And here's Matsui again. You could never get sick of looking at this if you're a Japanese fan.
And Tabuse with the pass. He's been big here for Japan. He's all over the floor, getting offensive rebounds and dishing off, locating the open shooters.
It's halftime in the bronze medal game. It's been a thriller so far. It's 31-29 to Iran. Join us in about 11 minutes for the second half.
湖南建工集团，湖南省首家房屋建筑工程总承包，特级资质企业集团。连续12年入选中国企业500强，连续15年荣获70项中国建设工程5等奖，致力打造成为集项目投资、运作、实施和经营能力于一体的总服务商，国内建筑业先锋企业。 为国家经济和社会发展做出更大的贡献。雪花。SUV 要有型，要个性，开阔空间。AX3让拥有的一切，越你所想。AX3，东风悦达起亚。 观众朋友们，2015国际篮联亚洲篮球锦标赛要感谢以下合作伙伴的鼎力支持。Ladies and gentlemen, 2015 FIBA Asia Championship is brought to you by the following marketing partners: 东风悦达起亚、CYKT、百岁山、Hampton、英特体育、Intersport、日本航空公司 Japan Airlines、罗腾、Mosen。 比克体育、Big Sport、天说、FIBA、湖南粮食集团有限公司、湖南 Green Group、吉祥人寿保险股份有限公司、吉祥 Life Insurance Company、五矿地产湖南开发有限公司、Mid Metals Property 湖南 Development、大连华尔强生物科技发展有限公司、大连华尔强 Biotechnology Development、中车时代电动汽车股份有限公司。 湖南 CRRC Times Electric Vehicle、湖南省建筑工程集团总公司、湖南 Construction Group、湖南五环体育实业发展集团有限公司、湖南 Fiber Sports Industrial Development、华润雪花啤酒中国有限公司、China Resources Snow Breweries。同时，我们还要向以下单位表示感谢，他们是 ，and also we thank all the following official partners。 国际篮球联合会 FIBA、中国篮球协会 Chinese Basketball Association、湖南省人民政府 People's Municipal Government of 湖南 Province、湖南省体育局、湖南 Sports Bureau、湖南体育产业集团有限公司、湖南 Sports Industry Group、体坛传媒集团股份有限公司、体坛 Media Group、长沙民政职业技术学院、长沙 Social Work College、中南林业科技大学。 Central South University of Forestry and Technology。我们还要向关注2015国际篮联亚洲篮球锦标赛的各家媒体表示感谢。And thank you very much, all the media. 技术勇进，让我们关注球员的表现。现场朋友们，请大家在入座之后扫描您座位后面的二维码 ，FIBA 国际篮联官方微博、微信的二维码，关注 FIBA 国际篮联官方的微博、微信，便有机会领取比克体育为您提供的精美的奖品。请大家拿出您的手机，扫一扫您座位后方的二维码。
We're almost ready for action in the second half of the bronze medal game here in Changsha after a quite simply remarkable opening 2 quarters. And after Iran had burst to an 18-3 lead on the back of that man, Nikhil Bahrami, we started sizing up the bronze medals. They're about to be delivered to the Iranian bench, but Matsui, who you see on your screen there in Japan, they came charging back. They got within 1. It's a 2-point margin in Iran's favour at the moment. And we're about to start on Paulo Kennedy, joined by Juanito Henson. What adjustments will the teams have made at halftime?
I think it's important that Iran gets balanced offense because in the first half, Japan had 18 bench points. Iran only 8, and Iran held down to just 32% field goal percentage. You want Haddadi to get his touches.
That man wasn't held down at all. Nikhil Bahrami picks up just as he did in the start of the first quarter. He is now up to 21 points. He connects on his 5th 3-point basket. What a start for Iran. And you said in the first quarter, Quinito, they need to find a man and put him on Nikao Baharami. Well, they haven't learnt that lesson over half-time. Now a turnover for Japan. So Iran with the impetus at the moment to start this third quarter. There's Komrani weaving his way into the lane. That time 2 men to Nikao Baharami, but now he's wide open. Well, Japan cop a break on that 3-point attempt.
You know, I'm surprised that Iran really hasn't gotten the ball in the hands of Ehdadi. Well, maybe not too surprised because of the way Japan is playing its defense, that 2-3 zone defense taking away the post position. What about the outside shot coming from Hiyajima?
Tough basket from Hiyajima. And just 2 field goal attempts for Ehdadi. But as you said in the first half, he doesn't need to shoot the ball. The ball just needs to go through him, and he can create for his teammates. Here's Nikao Baharami. They continue to give him space. And there is the pass from Ehdadi to Yak Charlie. It rims out. Takeuchi with the rebound.
And good job boxing out Ehdadi. Not able to get the offensive rebound.
Matsui thought about firing that one up.
There you
Now
go.
he catches, shoots, 3-point basket for Matsui. He is up to 18 points himself. He says to Nikao Baharami, anything you can do, I can do just as well.
Well, this is turning out to be a shootout between 2 of the best gunners in the FIBA Asia Championships. Baharami versus Matsui.
Strong move inside from Ehdadi. It misses. He goes and gets it again, and he'll go to the free throw line. And you'll be a happy man, Quinito.
Yes.
2 straight possessions into the big fella.
But a tough night at the office here for Ehdadi. He's really working hard for his shots. So far scoreless in this game. He only had 2 attempts from the field in the entire first half.
He has been struggling from the free throw line of late. Coming into this game, 67%, but he was 2 of 6 in the semi-final game. And he makes the first and makes the adjustment, and he gives Iran a 1-point lead. And it looked like they had blown this game open. It was just a matter of running it out. But Japan have shown so much heart in this tournament. And they continue to do it here. Here's Tabuse. He gave him a real lift, especially from the defensive end in that second quarter. Hiyajima, what a player he is. And he pulls up and connects.
Don't look now, but Japan is now in the lead by 1. Such an incredible comeback here by this hard-fighting Japan team.
Inside to the big fella again. He can't get it to go, but a foul is called.
And now he's finding the space.
It's called on Arau. And that's his 3rd personal foul.
You watch it right here, getting good position. Down low is Ehdadi. He'll go back to the line. Now he's more active. You know, it's not just a matter of hoping for the pass to get in your hands. You've got to make yourself available. And in that situation, because of his aggressive move without the basketball, got himself open, got the pass, got himself on the free throw line.
And the way he's shooting from the free throw line, we can expect to see Japan continuing to foul until he can prove he can make 2 of 2 consistently. Scores are tied at 36. It was 18-3, and then Coach Dirk Baumann substituted his entire starting 5. And since then, Japan have been on a roll. Hiyajima is starting to come into this game. He dances around the on-ball screen. He pulls up and he connects. Makoto Hiyajima up to 9 points, and Japan lead by 2.
What you like about Hiyajima is that he's not forcing a long shot. He's finding the medium range space, and he's getting the shots. He's getting the open looks from that distance.
This man's getting shots as well. Nikao Baharami connects again on 3-pointer number 6. He has 24 points already. What a display from the veteran. He's in his 5th FIBA Asia Championship. He had a sterling game last night in the semi-finals, and he's taken it up another level here, the bronze medal game. This guy's going up a level too. This time Hiyajima feeds Ota. Oh, look at Tabuse hustling away. Which way will this one go? It's Japan ball, and that's all thanks to the hustle of Tabuse.
Well, we've been talking about Tabuse ever since the start of this game. We've seen the influence that he has on the Japanese team, it's not coming out of points, it's coming out of his influence and the ability to get 50-50 possessions for Japan.
He may be 34 years of age, but he's going on 18 with the energy levels he plays with. Here's Matsui again. Dishes it off. And he'll advise past that time. And I think Japanese fans would say, stick to shooting because you're doing that pretty well so far tonight.
Well covered that time by the Iranian defense. Again, running that down screen for him.
Baharami for 2. This one's off the mark and it'll be a Japan ball. Sorry for interrupting there, Juanito.
No, I was just saying that he does a very good job of going around the down screen set up by Takeuchi. And there's Takeuchi, you see him in your screens. What you like about the Japanese team is that they work their execution in the half-court offense to free up the shooters.
Yeah, we talk about how do Matsui and Nikao Baharami get so open. It's their movement away from the ball, and that's half the battle of being a great shooter. You've got to get open as well. As Komrani gets the steal. He's fouled in the open court by Matsui. He helps his fallen counterpart up. It's 39-38. Second team foul on Matsui. And we see there nothing too bad about that one. Just a collision of bodies.
Could have been a case for an unsportsmanlike because there was no defender between Komrani and the basket that time, and the contact came from behind, not in front.
I think what saved him there was that Komrani didn't have clear possession of the ball and there was a contest for a loose ball. So good officiating.
Discretionary in the part of the referee, but I thought it was a good judgment call.
Zone defense again from Japan. It's been very effective, except for when they leave Baharami open, but he's off the floor at the moment. Tough ball away from Ehedadi.
And if you're Japan, you're giving up that kind of shot. You don't want Ehedadi at the low post. You move him out of his comfort zone, having to take a tough turnaround shot.
Matsui for 3. This one's off. A heat check there for Kijuro Matsui. That previous board was number 6 for Takeuchi. He's on his way to another double-double. There's Jamshidi feeding it inside, and we see Haka Hamed. They commit the foul. It's called at ground level.
No 2 free throws coming here.
That's team foul number 4.
That's right. Next foul will be in the bonus, giving free throws to Iran.
There's still 4:45 to play until three-quarter time. Furukawa back into the game. He started cold. It was only his first shot. It was a wide open one that he missed, but once Matsui came into the game, there was just no minutes there for Furukawa. And Coach Hasegawa will be hoping he can give that spark now off the bench.
Kardust is replacing Ehedadi, and he's not very happy. I think he wanted to stay in the game. Well, it's very obvious that here in this quarter, Iran going through Ehedadi in its offense, and if he's not getting shots, at least he's getting Japan to commit fouls. And sure enough, here with 4:43 to go, Iran, not a single team foul, but Japan already before. A lot of those fouls against or on Ehedadi.
Yeah, Charlie misses. So Hakim with the offensive rebound, and he's fouled. He'll get 2 free throws. And you look at the Iranian offense, so much of it tonight has relied on Ehedadi and Nikao Baharami. And with those 2 on the bench, there didn't look to be the same potency out there on that offense.
That's true. Who do you go to? That's the big question mark. When you have a team with 3 big superstars in Komrani, Baharami, and Ehedadi, you would think that one of them should at least be on the floor at any time.
You look at the bench unit out there for Iran. You've got Mashayeki, Yak Charlie, and Jamshidi. They are 3 aggressive players who are good in the open court, so perhaps we could expect to see some full court defense here. He makes the second. Indeed, denying the ball to the guards, so Takeuchi will run the point for the second time tonight. He dishes off to Hiyojima. And he's a player who thrives on pressure defense. He's got those clever moves where he can create an opening as Mashayeki fouls Hashimoto, just the first team foul on Iran this quarter.
Now, we were talking about the balanced offense that is required by Iran because they're getting A lot of points from Barami, but not too many others have contributed to the offense. You have Mashieki 0 of 1 in the first half, 0 of 4 is Yakcheli, and 0 of 2 for Sahakian. So a lot of those players not contributing.
Furukawa steps back, a tough shot over the outstretched arm of Kadust, and he ties the game away at 40. Look at Hashimoto up into the face of Yak Charlie.
Again, that 3-2 zone defense of Japan.
Jamshidi on the drive, tough move inside and it misses. Ota with the rebound. There's 3:40 to play until three-quarter time. Japan just slowly edging their way in front. They trailed by 15 early. They briefly put their noses in front, but you just feel the momentum is with them at the moment.
It's all about which team wants this more. Japan certainly motivated. This is their first Final Four appearance in the FIBA Asia Championships, I think since 1997.
Correct, in
So
Riyadh,
it's been a while.
Saudi Arabia. Here's Hiyojima. Look at those jerky dribble moves. He dished it off to Ryomo Ono, who checked into the ball game for the first time tonight. And he's yet to get his bearings. He stepped on the sideline. 13 turnovers Japan to 8 Iran. A lot of them were earlier in the game. It's been Japan who have looked a more cohesive unit since about 1 minute into that second term. Jack Charlie throws it away. What a crucial time it is for both teams. It's time to execute offensively. Get their noses in front. It's turning into a grind, this basketball game. Hiyojima going to work. He loves that pull-up jump shot. He rarely misses that one. And Hiyojima into double figures. He has 11, and Japan has the lead.
And the defensive coverage that time for Iran, I mean, much to be desired. And here's a steal.
Oh, and an
they're called unsportsmanlike
foul called. It looked like a tangle of bodies. The referee deems that Yak Charlie reached in from behind to stop the fast break. And we see, what about the anticipation of Hiyojima? And I think he was a little harshly done by there. He was behind the player, but I thought it was just a tangle of legs. But regardless, 2 free throws and possession to come for Japan. They lead it by 2, and we've got a timeout here in Changsha. What a performance from Japan. They have come back from the dead.
And that could be a momentum changer, that big call.
There's some world-class players on both teams. Let's have a look at some of the best players from around world basketball. Well, Japan are on a run at the moment. They trailed by 2 at halftime. They now lead it by 2. They've got 2 free throws to come and possession. As Hiyojima hits the first. He had 3 points at halftime. He's now got 9 in this quarter. He takes that up to 10. He was shooting 95% from the free throw line coming into this game. He's missed 1 tonight, but he makes it 3 of 4 from the stripe.
Biggest lead of Japan in this game.
Yeah, it's still remarkable to think that they've been able to bounce back from that 18-3 start by the defending champions. Here's Furukawa. Hit a big fadeaway just a couple of minutes ago. The shot clock down to 8. Hiyojima. He's been the man. This time he dishes off to Hashimoto. Ono on the boards. It spills off the hands of Ota. A big opportunity here from Iran. They have to turn the tide. They're struggling against this 3-2 zone of Japan. Nikau Baharami's back into the game. He's at the high block. Dabapana fires from long range, and Ono clears the board. And Iran just struggling to get to the hot man. And Furukawa, he has never seen a shot he didn't like, and he buries that one. Furukawa with 2 big jump shots here in the third quarter, and the lead is out to 6.
Well, keeping the pressure on here. No hesitation in taking the shots there for Japan, and they're getting it in early offense.
Tough shot, but Kudus gets the offensive rebound. That was exactly the hustle play Iran needed. Kudus will go to the free throw line.
Very rarely have we seen Iran go to its advantage in size. That time, the offensive rebound, and Kudus finds himself at the free throw line.
Kudus to 4 points. He'll check out of the ball game if he makes this free throw, with Hamad Haddadi waiting at the scorer's bench. And oh no, he gave Takeuchi a quick break, but the big man back into the game now. Takeuchi with 8 points and 6 boards. Kudus makes the bonus. He will sit down with 5 points. And Iran back within a long-range basket. Well, Hashimoto has given Japan good service in this third quarter. But it's Hiyajima, he's the playmaker. Dancing off one screen, coming off a second, down to the baseline. That pass is cut off by the foot of Haddadi. 9 on the shot clock. Furukawa and Hiyajima, they shape as the dangerous men from the perimeter. Takeuchi, shot clock down to 6. Hashimoto looking for an option, spins. Oh, tough play there from Hashimoto. He went in amongst the tall trees and he turned it over.
You need quick passing there from Hashimoto. Ball staying in his hands for just too long.
He almost need to pull that out, get it to one of his scorers and let them go to work. Here's a man who goes to work time and time again in the low block. But an excellent double team from Ota. Now Japan in the open court, behind the back pass from Hashimoto. A second straight turnover from him, and it leads to 2 free throws for Nikau Baharami. And I think we're going to see Tabuse back into this game in a minute, because 2 poor plays at a crucial time from Hashimoto.
Here's a signal from the Japanese coach Hasegawa to call time. His players need to play a little bit more composed. A little bit of fancy passing that time for Japan, creating a turnover, and then quick to capitalize Iran.
There are moments for Showtime plays, but the bronze medal game at the FIBA Asia Championship is not one of them. But it's Japan still in the lead. They're ahead 46-43.
Check out the top scorers here for Japan. 2 players in double figures. Matsui 18 points, Hiyajima with 13.
What about
Watch
that
this
assist?
nice pass. That's Matsui. He's been on fire in this game.
Kijuro Matsui, 6 of 8 from long range for his 18 points.
That time you saw how tough Iran's defense is on Matsui.
And that was a tough ball away from Hiyajima, who scored 10 points this quarter. He's picked up where Matsui has left off. And if you're Coach Hasegawa, how long do you leave Matsui on the bench for?
Well, it depends on how big a contribution Furukawa is giving to Japan. And Furukawa hasn't played badly at all. He's got only 5 points in the game, but he did hit a shot earlier. So you want to be able to vary your offense. I think Coach Hasegawa, with 52.2 seconds left in this quarter, he'll want Matsui coming off the bench in the 4th period, and he wants him firing.
And so often in this tournament, if Japan have been firing, Matsui hasn't got a lot of minutes, but as soon as things start to struggle offensively, he's sent to the scorer's bench, he checks in, and it's rarely long before he fires off a 3-point bomb. Something this man has done plenty of today, but he misses the free throw. It's 46-44. Japan have shown immense mental strength in this game. Hiyajima briefly flashed open. Now he comes to the top. Shot clock at 9. Into the lane, pull up at the free throw line, and he downs it. Is there anyone in the tournament better at weaving his way off the ball screen to a pull-up jump shot than Hiyajima?
A tremendous execution that time. Again, the Japanese, offense, providing the screens for their top shooters to score.
Davapana for three, contest for the rebound. Takeuchi comes up with it for Japan. They can extend this margin out to 6 or 7 as we tick down to three-quarter time. Hiyajima working against Ehadadi. Steps back, tough shot. Rims around and out. Who would have bet against him making that shot? He has been on fire in the third quarter. He scored 12 points. He's got 15 for the game. And we've got 10 minutes to play until we know who the bronze medalist is for 2015. It's Japan 48, Iran 44.
And what a huge comeback here for Japan. And you saw Ehadadi walking back to his bench rather slowly. He looks tired. Look at Iran's shooting here. They've got 7 3-pointers, 6 for Japan. And Japan has now surprisingly out-rebounded Iran 26-23, although Iran with 10 offensive boards and Japan with 4. Look at those turnovers hurting Japan.
I've got a statistic for you. Nikhil Bahrami, 8 of 17 from the field. The rest of the Iranian team, 5 of 28 for the game. Quite remarkable statistics. When this man's had the ball, good things have happened for Iran. And this man, Ehadadi, his distribution from the low block has been important too, but Japan have had more weapons. Hiyajima was the man that quarter. Look at that move. He pulls up on a dime, he elevates, and he's so composed. And this man, he doesn't mind a pull-up jump shot either, Cornito.
That's right, Furukawa getting it done. He's got 5 points, 5 quiet points in the game, but he hit some big shots that brought life to this Japan comeback. And you see the bench of Japan.
As we're about to come out again for the final quarter of this game, Furukawa and Hiyajima, Takeuchi and Ota leading the way, and Daiki Tanaka checking into the game as well for Japan. And we've talked so often in this tournament, they have been a true team. Hiyajima taking some of the offensive spoils, but their offense involves so many screen exchanges, so much movement, and it requires every player on the court to make it work.
And looking ahead, you know that Tokyo is hosting the 2020 Olympics, and Japan will have a slot in the Olympic basketball tournament. So you wonder what kind of composition Japan will have for its national team come 2020. But I'll tell you, the future looks good for Japan. They've got Yuta Watanabe, who's playing for the George Washington University varsity in the US. He's only 20 years old. He turns 21 on my birthday, October 13. Yuki Togashi, only 22 years old, a Japanese player playing in the Italian league. Tremendous youth coming up for the Japan national team.
Plenty of talent in Japan basketball. This man is one of the most talented. Furukawa can't get the three-point bomb to go. You talk about the 2020 Olympics. What about 2016? Japan are off to the Olympic qualifying tournament next year. And they may be taking a bronze medal with them the way they're going. Masayeki, big shot from the backup point guard. He brings Iran back to 47-48. Things are going to get tight here in the final quarter. It's been working its way into a half-court grind. Here's Hiyajima. He gets the mismatch that he likes. This time he feeds inside to Takeuchi. Clever play from Hiyajima, and his big man will go to the line.
That's right, drawing Ehadadi way outside to meet Hiyajima, and then the mismatch inside. Watch it right there, Takeuchi going up against Bahrami. Bahrami, we've described him as the weak link in that defensive chain of Iran. Takeuchi attacking Bahrami's defense inside.
At the other end, he's been anything but a weak link. Nikhil Bahrami with 25 points to lead the game. As Takeuchi makes the first. Matsui with 18 and Hiyajima with 15 for Japan. And this free throw will take Takeuchi into double figures.
And no, he misses. I was just about to say that Iran shouldn't gamble in giving up too many free throws to Japan because they are impeccable from the stripe. But that time, missing a second free throw.
11 of 15 from the free throw line for Iran as Ehadadeh for the first time tonight goes to work and scores for himself in the low block. He's only got 4 points. 4 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Here's Tabusi going against Mashieki, the old against the young. Again, Iran switched the screen. It's Nikhil Baharami. What a pass inside from Tabuse. And Tanaka with the quick finish over the top of Ehadadeh.
A little bit slow to react. Ehadadeh not able to block that shot or intimidate Tanaka with a shot.
This is game on, folks. Ehadadeh inside. He drops it in off the window. Scores are tied again at 51.
That's 2 in a row now for Ehadadeh. He's come alive here in offense in the 4th period. He needs to be aggressive. He needs to be active in offense.
We saw the same last night against China in the semi-final. He stepped up late. It wasn't enough. Here's Ota in the low block, looking to feed it off. Shot clock at 3. Tabusi into the lane. Left hand up. He can't get it to drop. And Iran can reclaim the lead here. 7:37 to play. Komrani to Nikhil Baharami. He's short on this occasion. Tabuse with the hustle. Nikhil Baharami's hit 6 3-pointers. This man, Furukawa, fires and he misses. A stalemate at the moment in the bronze medal game. Komrani trying to explore against this zone defense. One-on-one coverage with Ehadadeh. Goes to the left hand and he draws the foul.
And now Iran is going to the big man, as it should. Down the baseline, and then the hook off the reverse. And Matsui now is checking back in along with Hiyajima.
3rd foul on Takeuchi. And we're seeing some mistakes we weren't seeing earlier in the game. And you think these teams are playing their 9th game in 11 days, and there's got to be fatigue setting in here. They're just going to hope the adrenaline pushes them through these last 7 minutes and onto a bronze medal.
And what about this combination of Japan on the floor? No Hashimoto, no Tabuse, no natural point guard, but they've got shooters. They've got Matsui, they've got Hiyajima playing together.
Ehadadeh now 2 of 5 from the stripe. Big free throw here. He puts his team in front. I don't think that will be the last lead change for the night. Hiyajima taking control of the playmaking. He's defended by Masayuki, who is a quality on-ball defender. And he forces the turnover. Foul called on Hiyajima. And one of the rare mistakes from the Japan number 6 tonight.
Well, Coach Hasegawa now tapping Tabuse. Maybe he might have realized that he didn't have a natural point guard on the floor. So he brings back Tabuse immediately to try to restore order in the backcourt here for Japan.
You can't have a non-ball handler being harassed by Masayuki. He is a quality defender. A row back into the ball game for Ota for Japan. And we're ticked under 7 minutes to play. Who's going to take this bronze medal home? Jamshidi inside to Ehadadeh. He slices through the middle. He's called for a travel. He has a disbelieving look on his face, but that's right, it's a turnover. Right now, at this point in time, it doesn't matter if you agree with the whistle or not. You've just got to get on and make plays. Dirk Baumann with a disbelieving look on his face. And it was his substitution midway through the first quarter where he took his 5 starters out of the ball game that helped Japan to swing this ball game.
That's right, that was a big momentum changer.
Here we go. Pulls up at the elbow again. This time it's short. Some hustle there from Komrani. A 2-point guard lineup at the moment for Iran. Komrani penetrating. Good scrambling defense from Japan. Tabusi up in the grill of Komrani. Masayuki hit 1, he hits 2. He is coming up big in the final quarter. He's 2 of 3 from long range.
What about that pass coming from Komrani? You want him now looking to pass and getting his teammates involved. Oh, that's an offensive foul.
Now Masayuki draws the foul. The referee says to Tabuse, you hit him with your elbow. We have a look. And there was a little bit of contact to the throat. Mashayeki is pumped. And all of a sudden it's Iran back in the box seat thanks to the play of their backup point guard. The 21-year-old, and inside goes Haddadi, but can't finish the hook shot. Japan breathe again. Tabusi, Takeuchi. Look at Kamrani scrambling. Nikhil Baharami out the top. Tabusi pulls up, passes inside to Arau. He is fouled. He can't get the layup to roll, but he'll have 2 free throws to come.
And what about the ball movement there for Japan? Giving players a lot of touches and then finally an opening to try to score off the layup.
You can't help but think that was a missed opportunity on the layup there from Arau. He's only shooting 50% from the stripe. And he leaves that one well short.
I thought in that offensive set of Japan, so many opportunities for them to score. Takeuchi passing up shots.
You've got to give some credit to Kamrani and the Iranian defense, and 2 missed free throws from Arau. As good as a turnover there for Japan. It is getting tense here in Changsha. 5.5 minutes to play. Mashayeki to the basket. He dishes out to Nikhil Baharami, and he puts a dagger into the heart of Japan with his 7th three-point bomb of the evening. Nikhil Baharami up to 28 points. He locked, loaded, he splashed. And look at him celebrate. It's Iran 58, Japan 51. We've got a timeout here in Changsha.
Mashayeki making things happen. He had a 3-point shot earlier, and then the dish to an open Bahrami deep in the corner for another 3-point connection. As you see, the team leaders of Japan, Matsui with 18 points. He's been very quiet in the second half. Matsui has not scored at all in the second half. 18 points coming all in the first half. And for Iran, Nikhil Bahrami, you saw his name, 28 huge points. 7 3-point connections so far.
He scored 28 of his team's 58 points. And we talked about his field goal shooting. He is 9 of 19. His teammates are 9 of 33 for the game. It's been a one-man wrecking crew for Iran. And will it be enough to deliver them the bronze medal? They've won 3 of the past 4 gold. And we see him inside, feeding off Haddadi. Now he's outside, feeding off the big fella. This time, the corner. Haddadi with yet another assist.
He's been the big facilitator here.
He's got 5 assists,
Iran.
7 points, 6 boards, 5 assists for Haddadi. He has done his bit. As we tick down to the midway point of the final term. Matsui looking to shake free. He cannot get any opening with the defense from Jamshidi. Hiyajima is forced into a travel. And the Iranian defense has gone up a level here in the final term.
What about that defense, the man-to-man defense of Kamrani on Hiyajima? They're not switching, they're sticking to that tough man-to-man defense. And Kamrani doing a great job of creating that turnover. He'll take it again.
This one's off the mark. Rebounded by Haddadi. And a foul is called. That's the 4th team foul on Japan. They've scored just 3 points in this final term. They're 1 of 5 from the field. Foul called on Tabuse. That is his 5th personal. He says, I wasn't involved. And in fact, the referee is going to change that call. The foul is on Arau. That's his 4th personal.
So that's a reprieve for Tabuse. Arau and Tabuse both with 4 personals apiece.
Japan stick with this zone defense. It had the answers for so long. Jamshidi for 3, off the mark. He's not the man Iran wants shooting that ball. They want it in the hands of Nikhil Baharami. Japan want this guy involved. Hiyajima, he dishes to Takeuchi. He's been quiet offensively in the second half. Shot clock at 10. Matsui feeds his big fella in the corner. He leaves it short. Matsui with the rebound. He won't hesitate. He shoots an air ball. There was contact. The Japanese bench wanted a foul. They are not in luck. And time is starting to run out on Japan. Just 3 points in 6 minutes this quarter. Nikao Baharami for the sealer. Is that the end for Japan? They trail it by 10. Nikao Baharami, 31 points. He was left wide open, and he was never going to miss that one.
What an explosion here for Baharami. Yes, wide open. That defense of Japan not closing out. They're playing tough 3-2, a tough 3-2 defense, but now that defense is concentrated in getting Ehedari out of his comfort zone, and that left Baharami wide open for the shot.
Physical defense from Iran. Takeuchi's double teamed. What a feed to Matsui. Extra pass to Hiyajima. But just when they needed it most, the shooters for Japan have come up empty. And the clock ticks down to 3.5 minutes to play.
I just think that Hiyajima is not a three-point shooter on a consistent basis. He's a medium-range jump shooter, so you need to get him his touches within that distance. That time he took a three-point shot, missed.
He's shooting just 27% from range in the tournament. Here's Nikao Baharami. This time he hops and skips into the lane. He has it knocked away. He gets it back. He puts it in. And he puts Iran onto the podium. I think Iran looking good here. 63-51. Baharami with 33 points. Japan on the ropes. Can they find the answers? We've got a timeout here in Chongsha. They trail by 12.
Tough call here for Japan. They haven't been able to stop Baharami, who's been on fire since the opening tip. 33 huge points for Baharami. It's a one-man wrecking crew. But I tell you, here in the fourth period, he's gotten some help. Ehedari, only 7 points, but he's been dishing at least 4 assists in this game so far. Check out who's in foul trouble from Iran. Hassan Zada, we haven't seen too much of him.
He had 4 fouls in the first half. We haven't seen him in the second half. Caduce has got the job done, as has the big fella Ehedari.
Now this is a critical timeout called here by Japan. Coach Hasegawa mapping out the plays. He wants three-point shooting. No doubt about it, they're down by 12. They need points in a hurry. And of course, after you hit the outside shot, assuming you do, you've got to play tough defense and force those stops on Iran.
And such is the momentum of this game. It feels like Iran have locked it away, but there's still 3 minutes to play, and it is 12 points. Japan do need to find a hot hand, but a couple of three-point shots could change the complexion of this game very quickly.
You know, I haven't seen the combination of Furukawa and Matsui together. You know, that would be a tandem. That would be a combination that maybe Coach Hasegawa.
They are on the court at the moment for the first time tonight. Here is Furukawa. He looks for Matsui. Look at the defense from Jamshidi. Hiyajima steps back. That's his range, but he leaves it short. Arao tips it. Here's Furukawa. He's got to hit this one, and he does. Big shot from Furukawa, and it's back to 9.
So the 3 top shooters of Japan on the floor. We were just talking about that rare combination on the floor here for Japan. Now Matsui, Furukawa together along with Hiyajima. They need outside shots, and they got it right there from Furukawa.
Now Shiiki, he hit 2 big outside shots. This time he drives inside. He has it batted away with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Who do you go to here? Is it Nikao Baharami? Could it be anybody else after the performance he's had? Dirk Baumann wants to talk about it. He's called a timeout. There's 2:16 to play. It's a 9-point ball game. Iran have 1 foot on the podium, but the job's not done quite yet. It's 63-54.
Interesting what will be talked about here in the timeout of Iran, and Coach Dirk Baumann mapping out the play. Here with 4 seconds to go, They want a basket, no doubt about it. And they've been getting good movement here out of Mashieki, out of Kamrani's defense, and Bahrami, man, he's been on fire, 33 points. But I would think with 4 seconds to go, maybe that offense will go through Ehdadi. And then the quick pass out from Ehdadi, if in case he's defended tightly. You see Coach Barman diagramming the play that he wants with 4 seconds left on the shot clock of Iran. They've been dishing here in this fourth quarter while Bahrami's been getting his points. You see that he's being set up. Mashieki, he had his assist as well as Ahedadi.
We're counting down to the gold medal game between China and the Philippines. But right now we're trying to figure out who takes home the bronze. Iran led by 15 early in the game thanks to this man, Nick Bahrami. He leaves this short, but Mashieki with another big play. This time an offensive board. Iran just going to run the clock down inside to Ehdadi. He fades away, and Japan's hopes are fading away here. They trail by 11. There's less than 2 minutes to play.
That's vintage Ehdadi, getting it at the low post, but not powering his way through, but taking the turnaround jump shot.
Massive possession here. Takeuchi steps out and fires the three. What a big play from Joji Takeuchi. He does his best work from mid-range, but he brings the margin back to 8. Japan still alive in this one. They sit in man-to-man defense. Shot clock at 10. Nikhil Bahrami steps off. Feeds it inside. Left-hander from Ehdadi. He's fouled. He'll go back to the free throw line, and 2 huge free throws here for the big man.
Again, the execution, the two-man game, the ball screen coming from Ehdadi, and then the roll to the basket. And Bahrami knew exactly to whom to give the pass.
4 Japanese defenders surrounded Ehdadi there. They couldn't stop him. They could just send him to the stripe. He's 3 of 6 from the free throw line.
Unselfish play that time by Bahrami. He's been getting a lot of shots, but that time he wanted the ball in the hands of his big man.
He misses the free throw. He leaves it short. And he leaves the door open for Japan.
He hasn't been consistent in getting those foul shots to drop. There's Ehdadi.
8-point ball game, 80 seconds to play. He makes the second. A big free throw there. Hiyajima with the ball. What can he create? He's guarded by Mashieki. Matsui flashes open, only for a brief millisecond. Now he's backdoor, feeds it to Takeuchi. Outside, finally Matsui. Look at the defense from Iran. Furukawa for 3. What about the ball movement from Japan? They are back within 6. 56 seconds to play. Mashieki with the ball. He's guarded by Hiyajima. Huge possession for both teams. Shot clock into single figures. It ticks to 5. Nikhil Bahrami, he's been the man all night, and he's the man again. He slices to the basket with a 2-pointer. What can Matsui do? He spins. Ono for 3. He's cut off. Now Furukawa, can he go back to back? He does. It's a 5-point ball game. Oh, we got a timeout called, or is it a substitution? The referees have stopped the play. How about this action, Kunito?
With 2 minutes left, and when Japan called timeout, we read that they were going to map out plays for their 3-point shooters. And sure enough, loading up the lineup here with 3-point bombers on the floor. Furukawa's been on fire. Matsui's there. Hiyajima. Ono can also hit the outside shot. And earlier we saw Takeuchi with a 3-point connection too.
26 seconds to play. They foul Jamshidi, and they only lose around a second off the clock. Jamshidi will go to the free throw line. He's 88% from the stripe in the tournament.
No other option but to give up the foul with 24.8 seconds to go. Japan needing to stop the clock. There's Coach Dirk Barman. Japan is out of timeouts.
And Iran have 2 fouls to give, so expect them to foul upon the inbounds. Dirk Baumann giving that instruction.
And you'd rather put Japan on the foul line for 2 free throws rather than Japan getting the shots to fall from beyond the arc.
So important for Japan to kick the ball ahead, see if they can avoid the foul from Iran. Jamshidi misses both. 5-point ball game, 22 seconds to play. Ono spins away from the defense. He finds Hiyajima, massive 3-point shot. It's long, and we got a foul called. That'll be on Sahakian, but only the 3rd, in fact the 4th team foul on Iran.
And that would have been a huge 3-point connection if it had entered. Watch it right there. Oh, the ward off by Sakian, called by the refs. But Iran leaving the door a little open here for Japan, missing 2 free throws on the back end.
Iran here, they must cover Matsui and they must cover Furukawa.
One thing about Japan, if they're going to go down, they're going to go down fighting.
They're going to go down shooting from the 3-point line.
That's right.
We saw Takauchi step out just a couple of minutes ago to hit a big 3-pointer. Maybe he'll be the man again. Here comes Hiyajima. Takauchi bursts out. Oh no, Matsui for 3, it's off. And that may be the end of the resistance for Japan. Kamrani throws it out of bounds off the leg of Furukawa.
But you have to applaud this courageous stand by Japan.
They have never given in. They've been down and out twice in this game.
And they even led by 6 points after falling behind by 15 in the first half.
They have conceded this one. The clock runs down. And the 2015 FIBA Asia Championship bronze medalists are Iran. They won 3 of the past 4 gold medals. This time they'll be on the lower rung of the podium, but what a performance from Samad Nikal Bahrami with 35 points. He scored more than half his team's total. He connected on 7 3-pointers. It was one of the performances for the ages. In fact, he nailed 8 from long range.
A stellar performance by Bahrami. But for Japan, what an achievement. Coming back to the Final Four for the first time since 1997.
It's Iran 68-63.
And for Japan, the big consolation is why they've lost this game. They will be playing in the Olympic qualifiers. You take a look at what happened here from 3-point distance. Boy, what a shootout. Iran, 11 3-point connections, and Japan with 10. Imagine that Japan didn't score a single 3-point shot in that loss to the Philippines last night. Turnovers, 18, hurting Japan. 9 steals for Iran. That Iran defense was blowing hot, blowing cold, but 35 points coming from Nikal Bahrami and Matsui. Those 18 points coming all in the first half. And he was shut down in the second half, Takeuchi, with 10 rebounds.
And perhaps that was the difference. Nikal Bahrami continued to fire. Matsui went quiet. Hiyajima picked up the load. He had 12 points in the second half. But in that final quarter, Masha Yeki, the reserve point guard, he came in, he had 8 points and 2 assists and 2 clutch 3-point bombs that swung the momentum Iran's way.
Haddadi finished with 7 rebounds. He also finished with 10 points. You see him there in your screens. Not exactly an outstanding performance from Haddadi, but was getting the job done down the stretch, especially in the 4th period when he turned aggressive. And here you go with the pass. 5
assists for Haddadi. That was crucial in the rundown of this game. There's another one to his old running mate. They've played in 5 FIBA Asia Championships together, and now they have 3 gold medals and a bronze. Quite a return. There was the fall-away jumper from the big fella. It was at an important moment. It was fast, it was furious, it was physical. Iran led by 15 in the first quarter, 14 in the second quarter, but their lead was just 1 at halftime. Lovely feed inside from Tabuse. Japan threw everything at their more fancied rivals. Coach Hasegawa drove his team all night long. But have a look at this action. Feed inside, Haddadi just dropped it in. And as the game wore on, He didn't get any smaller, did he?
No, the silencer was Ehedadi down the stretch. But the man of the moment for Iran was Bahrami with 35 huge points to key this victory.
Nikhil Bahrami leads Iran to the bronze medal. They win 68-63.